Hello and welcome to Learning Music with Pat. I'm going to start off by playing a song that I wrote, and you haven't heard it before. And I'm not going to do much with it. I just want to play it so you can see how much you can learn how to play by learning the fingerings of the notes. And then what I'm going to do is spend most of my time today showing you fingerings of notes so you can see it. And I'm doing it in graph form as well as showing you manually so that you'll have a better idea as to how to finger these notes. You will find that once you learn how to make different kinds of fingerings for different notes, you're going to be able to play a lot of music. What I've done is show you the B, A, G, F, E, D. You can play a lot of music with just those 6 notes. And why don't I include the C? Well, I will today. The C is usually the hardest note to get, and so therefore I don't spend too much time with it if you're a beginning student, and eventually we'll get to it. But I want to play this song first. I'm going to be using the D's, some of the higher notes that you're just beginning to learn in it. I'm not putting it on the board here because I've got my fingerings of the notes that I want to show you right afterwards. So let me begin with this. So that's just a waltz time, and I did make a few little squeaks, but you need to remember on the recorder it's easy to squeak it. I'm tempted to play it again. Maybe I will before I close the show. If you don't get your fingers down exactly right on the holes as they're supposed to, you're likely to get a squeak, and I did make a few squeaks in that. Okay, so let me show you the fingerings. I'm going to go, this is a keyboard, I'm going to go from the B down to the C, or B, A, G, F, E, D is the way that I'm going to do it. This is what I've been teaching you. This is the B, and it's on the 3rd line up. And this is the finger hole, 1 finger hole on top with a thumb hole covered. So here's B with a thumb hole covered, okay? And that's the B. Then going down to the A, we're just simply going down the scale. Then with the A is right here on the keyboard right there, 2 down from the C, and this is the thumb hole covered, 2 finger holes right here covered, and here it is on the staff. What I want you to get you to see is the way that it's on the staff, and with the relationship with how it's on the staff and how you actually finger it. And the B on the staff is right here. I've put it down here as well, but it's A is right here, A is right here, the B is right here, and so the A is right here. I've yellowed it in. So therefore, we've got the A. Now, here's the G, B, A, G. Here's the G on the staff, the 2nd line up. The tone hole is covered, and here's the G on the staff. If you can remember, when you have these 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines, this is a C. It's always going to be a C. Next one down is going to be B. Next down is going to be A and G. You go down this way. Now when I'm writing it, to go down, I have to write it to the right. The reason is that we read all of our music to the right. We don't read from right to left. We read from toward the right, not toward the left. Okay, so there's your G. Tone hole still covered. And this is the F. B, A, G, F. And if you have an instrument that is a Baroque instrument, you'll add that extra key. So let me show you. Here's your, whoops, here's your F. And if you have a Baroque instrument, you put this finger down here, and that's your F. You can see that it changes the pitch slightly, and that's what it's supposed to do. Most people play Baroque instruments because they are a little more accurate in their pitch than the German ones. They're also a little bit more complicated to play. But B, A, G, F. If it's Baroque, that finger goes down. You skip a tone hole and put that other finger down. So therefore, you get your F. Here it is on the staff. On the keyboard, it's going to be right here. If you want a lower octave, right there. If you wanted a higher octave, it would be up here, which I did not mark. And on the staff right here, an F. F. Tone hole covered. 1, 2, 3, 4 covered, and possibly that one covered as well. I have it drawn out here. That's your F. And E would be the next one down. It's right here on the keyboard, and just 2 up from the C. And here it is right here on the first line. And you have all of these covered. B, A, G, F, E. The last 2 holes, which are usually double holes, are uncovered. The thumb hole is covered. There's your E. And then for your D, whoops, for the D, you have this one covered as well, B, A, G, F, E, D. And on the staff, it's actually below the staff, the space just below the staff. It'll be right here and right here. It's on the keyboard. It's right here, and the thumb hole for it is covered. So if I'm to play that, there's your low D. And if I want to do the octave, as I showed you the last segment, most of the octaves you can get by just lowering the thumb hole, and you can bounce it up by an octave that way. But on some notes, you can't do that, or you can, but it's not the correct way to do it. On some notes, what you need to do is use a totally different fingering. So lowering, uncovering the thumb hole will reveal, will cause a note to bounce up to an octave higher, usually, and on quite a few of the notes, but it doesn't work with all of the notes. But here's your D, just to get back to where your D is, right here. And then the low C. The low C is below where the D is by 1. There is no line, so what they do to make the C is they draw a line through it, and that's called a ledger line. And all of the notes here are all covered, every single one of them. The thumb hole is covered, all of the notes are covered. And it's going to be this note right here is low C. I made it as a half a note. It's going to be here on the keyboard, and it's here at just another place where I put it. And here's another C. So you have the instrument, the recorder, can actually play 2 octaves. So it would be able to play from this C to this C. This would be 1 octave, and this would be the higher octave. Now, that's not a full keyboard. You've got to imagine that there are keys on both sides of them that aren't pitched, but that's what it is. And then you have one other C that I want to mention to you, and that's the C that's commonly played, and it's the second note down, second finger down. It's on the third. Space up. The finger hole is covered, and I'm putting it as this C right here. This is it on the staff. This is it on the staff. But remember, when you have a keyboard that's not a full keyboard, you can interpret exactly where those octaves are because it's not a full keyboard to go by. So anyway, those are the notes. Now, if I want to show you more notes, which I want to, let me take a look. I think I can do it. I'm going to push up. This is a big book. Let me take this down. If I want to show you the keys from low C all the way up, now here's a keyboard on this side, and when we adjust that, okay, a little bit more. Maybe I can just pull this over a little bit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's perfect. Okay, so you've got a scale of 2 octaves from low C, which is below the staff, to the high C, which is 2 or 3 spaces above, actually more than that above the staff. You have 2 ledger lines. And so I want to show you the way that you would play all of those notes. Here's your low C. It's called a low C. On a piano, it's going to be called the middle C. And but the way that it is for the woodwinds, it's a low C. So here's your C right here, middle C, and you see you have, and I just did this kind of a drawing to represent the recorder. Everything is closed. That little hole on the left is going to be the thumb hole. And if I were to lay it down on its side, even though this doesn't look a whole lot like a recorder, it looks more like a flutophone, I did this so you can see the relationship between the fingers that are closed and also the thumb hole in the back, which would be right here. Everything is closed up. Everything is covered for that low C. And I've got it shown in a recorder the way that I've done it before. Everything is covered, including the thumb hole, and there's your C. I've actually done 2 charts for each note. Now we get to the D. Here's the D. It's just the space below the staff, and you have 1 hole uncovered, B, A, G, F, E, D. Thumb hole is closed. It's going to be right here on the keyboard. It's going to be right here on the keyboard, on the scale, and you can do it right here. Also, this would be the middle C, which I showed you before, and this is the D. And then I did a recorder, a more regular recorder picture of it. So here's your D, thumb hole closed, and you notice this is open, but this is closed. So you have everything closed except for 1. Okay, now we get to the E, which is right here. First line on the staff, these 2 holes are open, thumb hole is closed, so you have B, A, G, F, E, and then you have your thumb hole closed, and you can see it as if it's laying on its side, B, A, G, F, E, and here it is on the keyboard, and here it is on the scale, right there. And it's just a progression of taking fingers off. Here it is right here on the staff, B, A, G, F, E, and these 2 are open. The bottom ones are open. So we go to F, and there are 2 fingerings for F. Here it is on the staff. Here it is on the keyboard, and here it is normally if you're playing a Baroque instrument, B, A, G, B, A, G, F, and if it's Baroque, you add that 1 finger. If it's not Baroque, then you don't add that finger. B, A, G, F with that extra finger added, but when I drew it down here, I didn't put the extra finger in. There it is on the staff. And you're going to find the F right here on the staff, right here, and if it's on the upper level, right here. I mean, this would be bass clef. Treble clef, you're going to have your F right here. So just pull up 1 finger at a time. And then you would find in the other drawing I have of it, the thumb hole is closed. Here it is right here with the added one for the Baroque, or not added if it's a German one. So here it is with the German and no added finger. Here it is with the Baroque with one added finger. And there it is on the staff. Now we get to the G. The G is on the second line up, and then it's 3 notes down, B, A, G, with a thumb hole closed. It's here on the keyboard, and it's here on the staff with the bass notes. That was middle C, D, E, F, and the G is right here, second line up. And or it's up there in that line too, in that scale too, and there it is on the keyboard. So what I'm trying to do is to make a relationship between the notes, how you finger them, how they appear on the keyboard. B, A, G, right here, and the thumb hole closed, and this is the way you normally play it, with the thumb hole closed and just those 3 fingers down, and then you have your G on your line, on that line. A. Okay, A is right here on the staff, and you have 2 fingers down, thumb hole closed, and the A is right here on the keyboard, and you would find it right here on a scale, doing the bass and treble notes right there on the scale. And it's hard to reach over, but right there is the A. I want you to see the relationship between these, and that's the reason that I did this. Whoops, if I can get it to separate right. And on the regular pictures that I have of the recorder, thumb hole closed, 2 keys, 2 holes closed, and there it is on the staff. And then for the B is the 3rd line up. It's that top note right here on the staff, and the B is going to be right here, and on the other scale, right here. It's the same thing, it's just showing the relationship between how they appear. This is a very, very extensive fingering chart. And then we get to the regular recorders. The B is right here, like I normally show you, right here, the 3rd line up, and the thumb hole still closed. And then to go to the next one, and here's the C. And this is the 3rd line up. This is the note, you know, that you take the first finger off that top note and use the index, not the index, but the middle finger for this here, thumb hole closed. Here is the C. This, I sketched that in. That would be an octave below. And the C is going to be right here, 3rd line up. Or over here, if you're looking at this scale, 3rd line up as well. So you get a relationship between where it's written, and when you get the regular recorded drawings, which I've done, this is the C right here, 3rd line, thumb hole still closed. Then you get to the D. I've got to watch my time, but I think I can finish it. The D is this right here. The middle finger is down. It's right here on the staff. Here it is on a keyboard. Here it is on the scale, and it's right here on the scale. That's the D. And for the other recording that I've drawn, right here on the 4th line up, right here, tone hole is open for that. There is no closed tone hole in the back. The thumb stays off for that particular note. And then you get the E, which is right here, B, A, C, D, E. Now, B, A, G, F, E. Notice that the tone hole now is half open. When you get past that D and you get to the E, F, G, A, that's going to stay half open. And then you're just going to take your fingers and use them appropriately, taking it off one at a time. Since I'm kind of running out of time, I'm going to kind of rush through this. Your F right here, and this is the Baroque, B-A-G-F, and if there's no Baroque, then you just leave that finger off. It would be B-A-G-F. It's right up here, and this is the higher F right here. And this is the octave to it, so that would be the F. This is the recorder, the regular recorders, B-A-G-F, right here on the top line, half hold now because you are going into the higher octave, but the F, G, E, F, G, and A can be played like the normal way, except you do the half holding to get the octave. G of these three, and you have half holding for the thumb, and it's right here, and on the keyboard over here. I'm going to kind of rush this a little because I want to get it done, and I don't have too much time left. Here is the G, and the thumb hold, half hold. Here's the A, and it's got a ledger line, one ledger line, and it's way up here, 2 fingers down, half hold. And you can see the same thing here, 2 fingers down, half hold. 2 more notes to go. Here's your B, your high B. If it was an octave down, it would be here. It is up here on the scale, and here it is. It is above that ledger line for the A, went through it, so it goes right above the ledger line. It's like a space above the ledger line, and here you have 2 of your top notes down, and then 2 of your bottom notes down. So it is a different kind of fingering for that high B, but that's how you play it. It's not exactly the same as the other ones. You can see 2 top notes, 2 bottom notes closed, and half hold it. And this is where it appears on the staff with the ledger line underneath the note. And then you get to the C, and that's the last note that the instrument can get. And it's this note right here. If you're looking at a scale, it appears this way on the staff with 2 ledger lines, and then you have your top note closed and 2 other notes closed, and this is the high C, and you can see laying down here your top note, you skip 2, and 2 more notes are played. Thumb hold is half hold, as I have it here, and there's your C. And that's as much as you can play on a recorder. And I've got 1 minute left. So we've gone over it all, and we'll do a review here and there, but I really wanted to have you see it. So you'll be able to see the fingerings as I've laid them out in graph form. And of course, it just is a supplement to what I am showing you by using my fingers and just manually showing you that. So we're going to close it here and do something else next time. Please join me then.